Today it's not even tea. The tea is so big, it's a T-Rex. Okay. Obvious, right? I already talked about Jesse. Um, so like, I thought, honestly, I really did think after the last wave of bullshit with my ex, I thought it was done. Like, I kind of, like, it felt pretty final, you know? I felt good that it was over, and I've moved on with my life, and actually right now, I'm in a really good place, and I want to, like, make sure people know that. Yeah, I want to make sure people know that I'm okay, because I think maybe if people haven't been keeping up with me on a regular basis, they might not be aware that I'm actually doing pretty well right now, like mentally. I'm feeling pretty happy. A lot of things are going well for me right now. And I'm in a really good place. But I think a lot of people are worried that because of all this like drama resurfacing and stuff with my ex, that I'm like going to be hurt, or that I'm where I was a year ago. I've healed enough from that situation that I will never, like, I can't mentally get back to that place. Like, I'm much better, which is good, you know? It's good that I've, like, moved on. But just because I've moved on emotionally doesn't mean that things don't piss me off whenever it affects loved ones around me. And I really do think that he knows that. I think that he's mad. Maybe he saw that I was doing well and it made him mad, and he knew the only way to get to me was to, like, fuck with my friends. I don't know. That's a theory. Could be totally wrong. But it seems like that's the case, because like with going after Jesse, it just is so nonsensical and so random. There's just nothing, like, Jesse has never done a thing to hurt anyone. And even if someone annoys you, don't watch them then. Just don't watch it. It's not hard. She's not harming anyone. So for that to be an entire video and for it to be so spiteful, I can't think of another logical reason. I really can't. And you know, there can be denial about the motives, like, behind that all day, but to me the motives were clear. That video was awful, I think, mostly because who she is as a person was really called into question, and her intentions behind coming out and all these things that were so hard for her and that she put so much thought into were really just scrutinized to an ugly degree. But that's something that I think everyone already kind of knew. The new stuff that happened was, in my opinion, a lot worse. And people have been asking me a lot about it because I've been very quiet. I feel like I've been pretty silent about this whole Frank and Eva thing, for the most part. I mean, I tweeted 2 or 3 things. I retweeted their videos, but I haven't said anything publicly about it. Although, and this is the thing, like I told you, I've been, like, off doing my own thing, living my life, being very happy. This past weekend was one of the best that I've had in a very long time. So I was out Friday night, and that's when all this stuff happened. I didn't even know, like, if Frank was going to respond that night or not, but I was on the phone with them earlier that day, and I was texting Eva, I was texting Frank, like, we were all, like, trying to be supportive of each other, and I told him, I'm like, if there's anything that I can do, because I still feel, and people can tell me all day that it's not my fault, and I get it, kind of, but I do feel a lot of responsibility for everything that's happening. With Jessie, it hurt a little worse, I think, just because she's so, like, young and innocent and has nothing at all to do with him. And she's so far removed from this, like, drama scene, it just felt like kicking a puppy. So I felt the need to kind of step in and defend her. But Frank is an adult. He can probably defend himself better than I can, and that was kind of my mentality. So I talked to them, and the end result was him deciding he was going to make a video. And I told him, like, you know, okay, I'm not making a video about this then, if you're doing it, you know, which I wasn't really going to, I don't think, anyway, just because I already talked about Jesse, and, like, I'm tired of talking about the shit. I really genuinely am. So to know that they were going to do their thing and stand up for themselves was great. One less thing for me to worry about. But I did tell him, like, okay, if you need anything, please let me know, because I do feel a degree of responsibility for this, and it's like guilt. I have a lot of guilt. I think it's partially because of how I was raised. I was raised Catholic. Everyone knows I'm an atheist now, but I still feel guilty about everything I do. Like, it's stupid. I feel guilty for past relationships that I've had. Like, I shouldn't have had them. Like, it's a black mark on my record for anyone in the future. It's like I feel things that I shouldn't. Like, and I know they're not sensical, but I still put a lot of pressure on myself, right? You're your own worst critic. So with all this stuff, of course, I feel guilty and I feel responsible for integrating this person into my circle of friends more than he probably would have been had our relationship not existed, especially had we not had such a public breakup that Frank defended me over. So I feel really bad. So I told him, if you need anything, let me know. And so I was out. I was at a bar in West Hollywood, and he texted me and he's like, actually, I have a part in my video where I want to bring up what he did to you, but I feel like it'd be better coming from you. So if you could send me a clip just kind of explaining, like, just a really quick clip of like what you went through, like 20, 30 seconds, I'll put that in my video, and I'm just going to say, you could say it better yourself. And I'm like, well, I'm at a bar right now, and I have bad reception, and all I have to film on is my cell phone. So he's like, that's fine. And I don't know if you guys saw that clip, but it's literally like 240p because it wouldn't send. So I was in this bar, it was so loud, and I went into the bathroom and tried to like close the door, and it was like one of those bars that there's like an attendant in the bathroom. So I walk in and I'm like, hi, I need to film something, so I'm going to stand against this wall. It's probably going to sound weird to you. I'm sorry. So I'd explain myself to the lady sitting in the bathroom who like hands you your towels, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. Just pardon me. I like don't like filming in front of people. I have anxiety, so I felt so stupid in the bathroom of a bar, holding out my cell phone, being like, so I've been cheated on. like weird, right? It's kind of funny to think about, actually. Very strange situation. So I did that, and then I couldn't get the video to send. It kept saying upload failed, or text message failed to send, failed to send, failed to send. And apparently he ended up getting it, but it was super low res, like 240p. And then that ended up getting put in his video. But I think at least people could hear the words. Even though it didn't look great, at least people could still hear what I was saying, and it contributed, at least I think, what it was supposed to, even though the quality was the best I could do. I'm sorry. So I'm happy that they posted their videos. They have a very different approach than I do. I think it's because I'm past it emotionally. So every response I have left in me is calculated and thought out. And, yeah, I might be emotional in the sense of expressing unemotion, which is like anger and frustration. I can express those emotions, but I'm not emotional in the sense of being sad, which is good because it allows me to express myself in a clear way and make all of my points. But I think with Frank and Eva, like, this is just, it was kind of traumatic for them, because imagine being, I'm like, it's so stupid. This whole thing is so stupid with them. It's so irrational. Like, first of all, he lied so much. He flat out lied so much in his video about Frank. Like, it's so bad. And just for the sake of argument, even if anything of what he said was true, it's none of anyone else's business. At all. Like, Richie made the choice to make our stuff public. And when we broke up, I didn't feel like I had a choice because of that. And And I explained that in my I'm an Idiot video at the beginning. But with Frank and Eva, like, that's their stuff. And it's, if they want to keep their stuff private, it's really kind of fucked up to not allow them to have that. Like, they're obviously together. Every relationship has ups and downs. He grossly exaggerated their ups and downs, like, to the point of defamation, I think. But it's their private stuff. And it's such a screwed up thing, first of all, to make an accusation of cheating on someone else. It just blows my mind. It blows my mind. Even if all of it were true, which it's not, but for the sake of argument, if all of what he said was true, it still would be a fucked up video to make. And I can't believe that he, in his video, he was like, Frank is just as bad, if not worse, than me, than him. Like, if you look at his, like, mannerisms in that video, it seems like all I can see is just, in his eyes, just revenge. Like, I'm so mad at this person, I just want to fuck with them. It's so much pure hatred. It's just it's so ugly to watch happen. And if you notice that, it'll kind of make all of it make more sense. He's just so angry. He's so angry. It's insane that people are taking his side. Are they really? Like, how? I really don't understand it. No relationship is perfect. Everyone has ups and downs. But I know Frank and Eva personally. I know their relationship together, and they love each other so much. Like, it was so cute. A couple of weeks ago, we all went to Universal together. And Eva was wearing this sweater that was black and white stripes. It looked like Beetlejuice. And since right now everything is like Halloween and Halloween themed, we went into Universal, and there was a guy right at the entrance dressed up as Beetlejuice. And he saw Eva, and of course he's like, hey, we match. Hey, baby. Like, it was funny, right? It was like part of the act. They're paid to stand there and like antagonize people walking in. It was kind of funny. But it was adorable because Frank like immediately went over to Eva and put his arm around her, and he looks at Beetlejuice and he goes, no, this is mine. And me and Jesse were like, oh, that's so cute. He's protected. Like, it's just, they're adorable together. Adorable. And it's just fucked up to try to sabotage that. I mean, our falling out was a year ago. It's been a year. Why now? Why are you bringing this shit up now? And all the things he's accusing Frank of, apparently, like, the timeline of that is 4 years ago. So he's bringing up a 4-year-old fake story. A 4-year-old gross exaggeration of events. Now, a year after our falling out. It just seems odd. It just seems like a thing a desperate person would do who has no other prospects of getting views. I don't know. It's just strange. Very strange to see that happening. And no, Eva, thank you, Danny. Eva already has, she's talked about this publicly, so I don't mind bringing it up. But she's also told me privately, in a lot more detail, of how she also has anxiety. You guys know I have anxiety. Well, she does too. And everyone has it in a little bit of a different way. And right now, they're on tour. And they're doing so many things, and there's so much pressure on them to I saw their schedule. Their traveling requirements, and they get no sleep, right? They're always going. They have so much pressure. And Eva was struggling with that a little bit, you know? She's doing a great job, but that's a lot to take on. And that kind of stress does not need more stress piled on top of it. So, and the thing is like, even if Richie hated Frank, you have to think sometimes of the collateral damage that you cause when you go after someone. And I think with someone like Richie, he doesn't have empathy. He really struggles in that department. He doesn't think about anybody else other than himself. So of course he didn't take into consideration that even if he hated Frank, even if Frank is the worst person in the world, this is really, really hurting Eva. And she does not deserve that. And anybody with even a sliver of a heart would recognize that and not want to put someone through the kind of stress that she's had. Like, she's really hurting right now because of this. And that sucks. That's not fair to her. It's not fair to Frank, but like, poor Eva, like, she doesn't even know Richie. Frank was the one who collaborated with him and like knew him a little bit. Eva it's just, I can't even be there to comfort her because she's on tour. She's not even in LA right now. So she's got to deal with all this. Like, they have to go through it alone. Like, they have each other, but they don't have anybody who's like not emotionally hurting right now to pull them out of it. Like, that sucks. Like, I wish I could be there and like mother them both back to a happy place and try to talk them down. I mean, like, I spent some time on the phone with her today, but it's just stressing me out to think about how stressed she is. And it's just annoying. Like, that's the main, I'm frustrated and annoyed. That's it. And I feel bad for my friends, and I feel guilty. I feel responsible. Like, I actually laughed out loud. I mean, it was such a weird mix of emotions and reactions for me. Like, whenever I watched his video on Frank, it was annoyed, pissed. Then I like laughed hysterically for a minute and paused. And then I went back to annoyed. The thing that got me really laughing in that video was there was like a line where what was it? It was like, he was talking about how Frank made him feel like he was being used. And he's like, none of it was real. All of it, his entire relationship, his entire friendship with me was fake, and none of it was real. He only wanted me for collaboration purposes, and I just feel like that friendship didn't mean anything to him. And I'm just like, I think my jaw hit the floor. I had to pause it and be like, does he hear himself talking? Like, how the fuck do you think I felt? I was in a year and like 3 month or whatever long relationship with him. Do you not think maybe I felt like none of it was real? Do you think maybe I felt like the entire thing was fake? Do you think maybe I felt a little betrayed? How can you sit there and talk about how betrayed you feel? Really? It blows my mind. I was just like, I had to pause it. I'm like, wow, this person really has no self-awareness. Like, those are my two main takeaways from the video. One, like, he's not self-aware, like, at all. And two, he has zero empathy and doesn't give a shit who he hurts in the process, no matter what. It doesn't matter what happens as long as somehow he can build his own stuff up. And I think, honestly, like, I don't know. Like, I feel like I don't want to diagnose anyone with anything. So I'm like trying to choose my wording very carefully right now. I don't know. Maybe I should just stop talking. I think that the lack of self-awareness extends so deep that when he posts these videos, he doesn't realize that people won't like them. Like, when he posted his response to me, I don't think he knew it was bad. I think he posted that video thinking, yeah, this will be somewhat redeeming. I mean, I admitted I fucked up. Yeah, I might have tried to put the blame on her and say she was warned, but I'm being honest and saying I fucked up. And I'm going to spend the rest of this video talking about my content to try to take the focus off of the fact that I fucked up, but just admitting that I cheated will be redeeming. And the complete lack of actual, like, remorse. That's okay if that's completely lacking. As long as I say I fucked up, that's good enough. I think people will like this video. Like, I don't think he realized... he lost a little bit of a following whenever I posted my video, but when he really started losing was when he posted his response. That's what did it. Because people could see how cold he was. But I don't think he had the force. I don't think he knew that. He didn't have the foresight. He couldn't understand the emotional reaction. He couldn't predict it at all because he doesn't understand how people feel. So he didn't think that they would feel negatively about his video. And I feel like it's the same thing with the Jessie video, and it's the same thing with the Frank and Eva video. I think he posts these things expecting backlash, but to a lesser degree. Like, he expects backlash in the sense that their fandoms won't like this. The fact that people like Frank and Eva and the fact that people like Jessie, like, that's going to cause backlash. It's not because, like, I'm bad. It's just their fans aren't going to like it because they're their fans. What are you going to do? I don't think he really understands that it goes so much further than that. And that his own fans are going to recognize the hurtful things that he's doing and want to leave. Like, I'm sure he expected, like, a little bit of a backlash, but I don't think he recognized the severity of what he was doing. Because he doesn't understand human emotion. He doesn't understand how other people would feel about something because that's not how he would feel. He can't relate. So he doesn't know better.